Hello my friends, I have a new workflow for you, a batch image generation workflow. It is based at the FluxDev text-to-image workflow and pretty simple. You paste in your text here in this field, in the text field of the auto-prompt schedule node. You can also type it in here. Then make sure that this value here is always at 0 before you run. Then you adjust the number of runs. We have 3 prompts. So we need to run it 3 times. Then you might want to adjust the style here. The style here is disturbing, so let's bypass it for now. And then you press run. And then it will go through the list. We have now 3 prompts. And then we should see an apple, a banana, and a tree. And here we go, an apple, a banana, and a tree. 3 lines of prompts in one run. This auto-prompt schedule node is a new one. I have written it especially for this workflow here. So this video here is not only the explanation video for the workflow, which is, as you have seen, pretty simple, but also an explanation video for this node here. The node can be found here at GitHub, ComfyUI auto-prompt schedule. Here is the explanation, how to install it, and an overview of the usage. And here we have our example workflow again. I will link it in the description. But let's start at the beginning. I was in need to create several images at once, the starting images for one of my music videos, and I was tired to create the images one by one. Back in the days there was more than one workflow around for this. I remember one in my backup somewhere made with the was Node suite and for Stable Diffusion 1.5. But the was Node suite is no more, and to my surprise I couldn't find a good batch prompting solution anymore. Maybe I'm blind, I don't know, but I had simply no luck. So I started to dig a bit and found a solution that uses this prompt schedule node. It has a drawback. You still need to add every keyframe one by one, and that's even more work than pasting the prompt simply into a text box and click run. Welcome to the dilemma. So guess what a developer then does? Correct nonsense. The result is this new node here. I started to develop it to save me the time to write it one by one here. It converts this text list with all the prompts into this keyframe list that you need here in the prompt schedule node. So the job is as easy as writing a text with all the prompts underneath, every prompt one line, and then you simply paste it here in, or you add it with an absolute path here. And then all you need to do is to set this value back to 0 always. This value here is where the keyframe starts. And when we start with keyframe 3, then we have the last prompt all the time. But we want to start with frame 0, with the first keyframe, so we need to turn it down all the time. This is one of the drawbacks of this workflow. Always make sure, this is why I have chosen this nice color here, always make sure this value is 0 before you run. This method here should also work with other image generation workflows, like HiDream, or whatever model exists, as long as the prompt schedule text works with it together. The workflow here that I use is based at the template workflow for FluxDev. And this is what we do now. We start from scratch with FluxDev. This is the browse templates, and we have here the Flux, and then we use this workflow here. This is the base. And then you can see here the clip text encode. And we replace this clip text encode by the prompt schedule node. So this is clip. The clip goes here, and the positive goes into the positive, and then we can already remove this node here. And the second thing that we need to do that this works is to add an integer value here for the current frame. Int. This is a Comfy core add-on node, and this node here needs to be put in here. And Here we are. This is the nice color here. This is this. And then we have already the base. The clip is not connected. I thought I had it already. Okay. Clip to prompt schedule, positive to positive. Okay, and then we can type in the text here. An apple, a banana, and a tree. So the drawback, as you can see, we are again at typing in and typing in and typing in. And we need to change the values now here. And as told, this is what the node does for us. This is what this node does for us. Now let's go crazy and add the add prompt schedule to this workflow. Okay, this is add node text auto prompt schedule. This is the node here. And all we do is connect the schedule text to here. Apple, banana, a tree. The empty lines doesn't count. It doesn't matter if you add an empty line or not. It needs everything needs to be in one line. Everything else is not of interest. And we can already run this, since what we have here is just for convenient. This, here we are. This 2 text boxes here is convenient. It is not required, really. Oh, I forgot 2 things. Did notice it? We have now a negative value, and so the first prompt is valid. With a positive value, the last frame would have been valid, but we don't want to randomize. We want to increment, and we need to start at 0. And then, of course, we need 3 runs. We have 3 lines. When we have more than 3 runs, then the last prompt remains valid, so it doesn't harm, but we need 3 images, so let's run it 3 times. And here we go again. An apple, a banana, and a tree. So, the convenient stuff. We need to add a show text node. Let's drag it a bit bigger. Oh man, Comfy. I have no idea what they did here, but it is so nasty. Okay, connect info text with text. Let's run it again. And you will see 2 lines. Number of lines, this here. As you can see, it has an empty line here, but this doesn't count. So we have 3 lines with content, so a number of lines. And currently we need to run it 3 times. So what is this second line good for, you may ask? Well, we have here a multiplier. And multiplier means with a multiplier of 1, you get the keyframe 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. But with a multiplier of 2, you get a keyframe of 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Let me duplicate this one, show text, and give me here the schedule text. This is now the info string that we had here in the workflow, this one here, show text. It simply shows us, let's run it, what a result we get. And with a multiplier of 2, you can see 0, 2, 4. Before I continue, of course, set this value to 0. And we have now a number of runs, 6. Now this is what we type in now here. I typed in 6. Here we go. Okay. Unfortunately, this feature is not really reliable. Let me show you what I mean. You would expect to have 2 apples, 2 bananas, and 2 trees. Let me turn down this size so that we have a result in lifetime. What we get is unfortunately 1 apple. When we are lucky, 2 bananas and 3 trees. Yeah, here you can see 1 apple, and here already the banana starts. It is arbitrary. I have not found out why, because the same happens when I just work with this here, with the prompt schedule. I get the same result. The first result, when I change the order here to 0, 2, 4, and put in an apple here and a banana here, same result. one apple is skipped. There is nothing that I can do here, but still, it's just one image that you may need to recreate. So I personally can live with that. Maybe you can think about it and duplicate the first prompt so that it runs twice, and then it should fit. What is now missing is the text box. To have a prepend text or an append text. I want to append a style, so a comma, and then my style, let's say comic, and lush colors, and then this text here is applied to every single prompt, this style here. Add once, add one run. I hope I have covered everything. One thing is left, installation. So this is a completely blank ComfyUI installation. No add-ons installed besides the manager. And the fastest way is download this image here, save image as, and drag it into ComfyUI. This is the workflow image. And then we have here the missing nodes. My auto prompt schedule and the other three. And what we do is now we go to Manager, install missing custom nodes, select everything, install, wait a few moments until everything has downloaded, restart, confirm, and here we go, everything installed. Here, the example workflow. You can also do it manually. Here, I think I have updated. Yeah, here we are. Manually method is ComfyUI custom nodes and git clone. As told, it appears now in the manager, so this is the easiest way. I think we are through. This is, again, the explanation how this node works, auto prompt schedule. And I wish you lots of fun with it.